People are strange.
Strange.
Fucking strange.
Is that strange?
That is strange.
Strange.
That is strange.
Wow, that is strange. This is strange.
And welcome back to another episode of Strange Sauna, everybody. It is me going solo today. Yes, we are going to be talking about Charlie Kirk updates. There's a lot of them to get to. Boy, oh boy. And there's something else about Donald Trump, the ballroom, and something that Steve Bannon brought up that we just have to go over. So that's probably going to be towards the end of the show. So everybody stay tuned for that because it gets a little spicy, gets a little juicy, going into the antichrist zone, okay? Yeah, so there is a lot of stuff going on this week. Everybody heard of the gag order that is happening. We had numerous pictures of Tyler Robinson, supposedly not Tyler Robinson. I don't know. He's in two places at once, so everybody's kind of like up in the air. There's a lot to get to, so we are going to just dive right in without further ado. If you guys like the show, hit the like button throughout the thing. I mean, I'm just going to like say hit the like button because like you guys, you're doing awesome. Got to get those lights up, okay? Anyway, moving on to what I have discovered this week. So everybody is saying that the judge has ordered a gag order of 3,000 people, right? And there was this clip of this courtroom kind of hearing going viral, and this was the clip that everybody's saying, hey, yeah, this is the judge saying you guys can't talk about this. But this was actually a couple weeks ago. I mean, this is an older clip, and everybody's saying, like, this just happened over the weekend. Everybody just watch this. Here, hold on. Before we get that started, I'm going to make sure that this is kind of going here. Yeah, so watch this clip and then listen to what the judge says, because he makes it very specific. It's as the witnesses are known. That's when you guys got to be quiet, okay? Here we go. Listen to this.
Also brought up a big issue involving thousands of people.
We're seeking some clarification with respect to the phrase all witnesses, Your Honor. There are a number of witnesses that have yet to be identified that will likely be used in the state's case. This occurred in front of 2,000 to 3,000 students at Utah Valley University. So we're in the process of identifying those witnesses. And so those individuals are presently unknown right now.
The court will rule that as the witnesses become known to each side, that information is conveyed to abide by this order. Obviously, there are potentially many witnesses, and so it's not the expectation that you would be able to do that up front, but as they become known.
Okay, so as they become known, right? So not up front, like they're not going to like find it because they don't know. They don't know who all the witnesses are. And I mean, yeah, anybody could just come up and be like, yeah, I was a witness. But like those people that were caught on camera, or not even caught on camera, but like did interviews directly afterwards, they'd be considered witnesses, right? So, I mean, they're sworn statements. That's why it's so like important to capture that video right when it happens, because you never know what is going to get scrubbed off of the internet, right? Because of these gag orders. And I've just heard like this gag order is kind of like unprecedented. No other case really has a gag order. I don't even know if that's true. I mean, there sure have to be like cases with gag orders, right? Something else that came out about that case, though, about that trial, is that you have Charlie Kirk's, I think, or not Charlie Kirk, but Tyler Robinson's own lawyers are trying to get the media banned from covering this. So a judge will hear arguments whether or not to ban media coverage of the Tyler Robinson trial. So check this out. This is Fox News here.
During proceedings, Robinson's defense team is also seeking to limit media coverage of the trial, including a ban on cameras in the courtroom. Donna Rotano is a criminal defense attorney and Fox News contributor. My first thought is how difficult this is going to be for Charlie Kirk's family, for his wife, his parents, to go through this trial. But to have the defense seeking to allow him to present in plain clothes, what is the case they're making for him for that?
Sure. Good afternoon, Sandra. How are you? Here's the issue when it comes to clothing. Obviously, the main purpose here for the defense is to try to get a fair and impartial jury. And if potential jurors watching news coverage of this on a regular basis are seeing Mr. Robinson brought out in prison clothes or jail clothes, then obviously they're looking at him as someone who is in custody. The goal is that the jury doesn't make a determination about custody until obviously after a trial is done and someone is sentenced. So the purpose is to make him look like a regular citizen so he can be judged fairly and impartially based on the evidence alone.
Okay, yeah. We get it. So his defense team is pushing to get cameras out of the courtroom because he's dressed in the prison garb, right? And he doesn't want people to, his defense team doesn't want people to see him in the prison garb because it eludes this guilty. Like, it looks like you're guilty, right? I don't know. I mean, or it's like this whole aspect of, is the guy even real, right? Because, like, we've never really seen this man. We've seen still images. We've seen photos. We've seen somebody walking that looks like this Tyler Robinson character. I mean, the only time we've ever seen him in a courtroom is over a Zoom call, right? And even then, he barely even moved. He was just sitting there kind of, that's just a theory out there. Honestly, the story is that this is Tyler Robinson. He really exists, and he's the one who murdered Charlie Kirk. I just don't know if that's true, but there were other photos of Tyler Robinson. There was another ring cam that caught Tyler Robinson walking. And he's walking here with this blue backpack. So, oops, you guys can't see that. Here, hold on a second. I don't know why it's on this screen here. I'm going to drag it on over. So, yes, he's walking in this blue backpack, and he meets somebody in this car. You see this car right back here? He gets into this car, and that thing drives away. But you have supposedly, and is this Tyler Robinson? It's like a guy in the same clothes with the backpack on, right? Same hat. He has sunglasses on. Definitely doesn't look like this guy. Different build, right? Different backpack. And so you have a bunch of people all over the place saying they also found in the footage another guy that looks like Tyler Robinson. So you see Tyler Robinson. This is from the TMZ video, the infamous video of Tyler Robinson walking to the UVU campus. And right down here in this red circle, you see a guy in the same damn clothes, like same exact outfit. Like, what? What? Why is this guy wearing the same clothes? Here, hold on. Like, this dude's just straight up running. And so everybody's like, that looks like Tyler Robinson. He wasn't on the roof, right? So you have like this kind of suspicion of like, if it's not Tyler Robinson, which I don't think it is, because somebody else grabbed a screenshot of this guy and he looks very different. He looks like this guy over here. And this does not look like what we have seen Tyler Robinson in the media be presented as. This guy has a little bit more muscular jawline, bigger ears, just overall doesn't look like Tyler Robinson. I noticed that the sleeves of this shirt are a little bit longer too. So if we go back to what Tyler Robinson was wearing, see how his sleeves look a little bit shorter? You can see more skin? I don't know. But I just don't think that the guy that we were looking at in that video of him running here, like this guy, I don't think that's Tyler Robinson. I don't think these two are the same characters. See how the shirt looks a little bit longer? And yeah, the camera angle is coming down on his body a little bit differently, right? But it just looks different. And so like it screams a question like, How many people wore that exact same outfit that day? You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm going to throw on my baggy maroon shirt, my black shorts. I got my white sneakers to go with it and my black cap with the little, it even has like the white dot thing or this medallion, whatever's in the middle, like that symbol, right? Whatever's going on there in the middle of the hat. So it's just very strange that like you'd have somebody that looks like he's wearing the same stuff as Tyler Robinson in the crowd. That's just very suspicious to me. So that was kind of going all over the place. And you also had Candace Owens came out saying she's not going to abide by the gag order. She's going to keep on trucking away. She implicated that Donald Trump might have been involved with the death of Charlie Kirk. She said that she can no longer trust Trump because of all this stuff. And now it could be because of the whole like Israel thing. And, you know, she's pushing hard on like the Israel messages, like the chat from the whether Telegram or whether it be from WhatsApp. I've heard both go back and forth, right? But people are getting outraged by this. They're saying that Candace Owens is openly claiming that Trump killed Charlie Kirk. I don't know if I get that from this video. So you guys take a listen to this and let me know what you think. This sounds like Candace Owens is saying here.
Just really needed to just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means. And
I'm going to pause. So just to preface this video, this is, I think, from her house. And because everybody's like speculating, they're like, where's Candace at? Like she said she'd be back after 10 days, which like that 10 days of darkness thing, like stuck in the back of my head. I was thinking, 10 days, no info, 10 days of darkness. She's gone for 10 days. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what is this? This is cute. No. So that was just like, everybody's wondering where the hell she was at. And so she comes back with this short little video from her house. And this is what she says.
Really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know. We just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump.
Fully.
And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean?
That is true.
Like, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you.
They gave Trump a boulevard name too, right? The Gohan Heights. Aren't those the Trump Heights now? Think about it. I don't know. Is there going to be a Trump day?
They definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. They're like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on a nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys for all the support throughout these couple of weeks.
Okay, so she said she'll be back on the 27th. We'll see if that happens. So keep that in the back of your mind, right? Like they're naming boulevards after Charlie Kirk. They might be naming the new ballroom after Charlie Kirk. We'll get to that later. But yeah, it's like they give you a holiday, right? But I mean, there's not like an Abraham Lincoln holiday. There's not like a JFK day, right? There's a president's holiday break, I guess. So I actually have never done the math. Like, is it how many presidents have been assassinated? Add those days up over the President's Day break. I don't know. One per day. I don't know. That's just a stretch there. So there's other stuff going on. The main stuff. Well, actually, no. Here, before we get into that, there was high def video footage that was put out coming from behind Charlie Kirk. Not like definitively behind him, but it was to the right corner, right behind him. So you can clearly see Hunter Kozak. Remember, his father is the Jimmy Kimmel producer or some sort of thing for the Jimmy Kimmel live show. So he has ties to Hollywood, Hunter Kozak. And I just heard this on the Tinfoil Hat today that his name, Kozak, means free man. And I looked it up. It's like Ukrainian or something. And so think about it. Hunter, free man, Hunter of the free man. Charlie Kirk got shot wearing a freedom shirt, like the death of freedom, while he's talking to the hunter of the free man, Hunter Kozak. Very strange. Very strange right there. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of stuff gives me a little bit of tinglies where I'm going, that sounds a little weird. But this is some 4K, supposedly 60 frames per second HDR footage right here, zooming on in. I'm going to go ahead and mute this. But this is where you can kind of see what happens behind Charlie Kirk when he gets shot right here. And you'll see, now, to be fair, I mean, we're going to show the shot. You got to see the images to see the shot. You got to see what's going on behind him. You have to see his body. So don't watch if you're squeamish. But you'll see what happens right here is this appears to be the either necklace, because he wasn't wearing an earpiece. That is verifiable. There was nothing in his ear. This appears to be his necklace or something. And that's even what Candace Owens said, is that thing plopping off his ear wasn't an earpiece. It was his necklace. So it appears to be that necklace that's popping up. As we play here, right? And it goes flying back, which is just strange. Like, he gets shot in the neck. Like, let's just play this out. From the narrative that we're being sold from the FBI, he gets shot from a building 200 yards away with a 30-06 round, whether that be from like a suppressed rifle, but I don't even know if a Mauser 98 can be suppressed. It was a modified World War I weapon, right? That a grandpappy gave him. So I'm just saying, like, if the bullet hits him in the neck, right? There's no spray behind him. Lots of people are saying that the 30-06 would have severed the head. I mean, clearly, like, it's a big bullet. Now, how did his necklace snap? Because it was, if the bullet came this way, and I guess it was like so forceful that the necklace just snaps in half there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how this necklace attaches itself. I don't know if it's a clasp or if it's like loose. Honestly, I don't know. Right? But this thing just comes flying off and he starts to go down, right? There is another image of this shot right here. So you can see something happening behind in his shirt. It's almost like he's getting a hunchback, right? And so that would imply a gust of air or a gust of something happening underneath his shirt. Or maybe there was a force. See, that's what I don't know. I don't know what was on his body. He definitely was not wearing a bulletproof vest. That has been confirmed. He had something underneath his shirt. But it could have been like the microphone stuff, right? Like when you have those microphone wires, I don't know. I mean, like that, the wireless or the Rode 2 mic. I don't know if that has any wires on it or if it's just completely wireless. I don't know if they need any other weird wiring for his show. So I would imagine he would have that wrapped around, because that's one theory that I actually heard when I first started looking at this, is it was like a wire for his whatever microphone, right? And they just had that underneath his shirt. And then when he got hit, that wire tugged and popped up in the back, kind of gave him that hunchback thing. But here, you get really clear video of what's going on immediately. I mean, you got baseball man who has been identified. I guess he's from Guatemala or no. Never mind. That was the guy in the audience, the brown shirt guy. The guy who lifted up his sleeve. This guy gave the baseball move of go ahead and steal base there, sniper. He comes in and drags Charlie Kirk's body off of this chair. Right? You can clearly see under the table. You see what's going on here. Also, I just wanted to say something about this guy right here with the blue shirt and the satchel across his whatever that is, shoulder. Apparently, he is trained in tactical, like wound healing, all this stuff, right? Let me see if I can find that really quick. But he was identified as like one of his security detail that he had. Here we go. This is actually an interesting thread here by Piper on X. So this is about the security detail that was surrounding Charlie Kirk. So this person goes in and says, Consolidated Training Group located in Weatherford, Texas, 170-acre tactical training center under the umbrella of Schaefer Security Group. Brian Harpole was the director of training as well as the manager director of CTG. I don't know what CTG means. Brian Harpole was present as one of the members of Charlie Schaefer's security detail on 9/19/2025 at EVU. 9/19? It was on 9/10. So what are we talking about here? Brian was on Charlie's right side and was the one first to help Charlie upon being shot. It's been speculated as to why Charlie did not appear to have blood dripping from him as he was carried to the SUV, right? We've all talked about this. And then this person goes on to say, as I've stated in prior posts, it was likely because one of his security team members is trained with tactical medical training. And the bag that he has is likely a field trauma kit. These kits always contain some sort of, I'm just correcting his spelling here. Some sort of bleeding control device. Stopping the bleeding is priority number one for these courses. And I've seen these things. These are like direct patches. It's almost like, have you ever seen that infomercial where like the fish tank is leaking and the guy goes, got a leak? And he slaps that whatever like piece of tape on there and it just stops the leak. That is kind of what these things do. Like if you're profusely bleeding out of a vein or an artery, you slap that thing on there and it'll stop it. So it's kind of like this super glue type of thing. I don't know. I don't have that much. I've just seen it, here and there. So I don't know that much about it. I'm not an expert. But apparently, this guy right here that I was talking about in the blue shirt with this satchel, this Brian Harpole guy. And he has been trained in tactical medical training. And so they're saying that this is likely a field trauma kit that he had over his shoulder, right? And in this video, going back to what we were just watching there, you can see him come in, and he's like one of the first ones there. So let's see. Let's scroll back here. So see him. This is him right here, and this is his bag. As Charlie's going down, you can kind of see over off here to the left. This is that Brian Harpole guy. This is that Turek doctor in the white. But as we scroll through here, you can see that Brian Harpole guy, there he is. See his satchel? He's standing right next to the guy who took down Charlie. He's one of the first ones down on the ground. And he's touching him right now. Looks like he is touching Charlie Kirk. But where's the blood on the hands? Right? We watch these videos all the time and like, where's the blood? Right? Here's that guy with the weird yellow I swear, if that's Diet Mountain Dew, that's a solid. Okay? That's a solid in my book. Okay? That guy, that's a win. But I don't know what he has in the back pocket there. That's bright yellow, bro. So he comes in and like this guy's like getting in defense mode. He pulls out like a gun or something. But like this guy here in the short plaid, we've watched him kind of before pull something out of his pocket, or he reaches down and grabs something. If you watch this, you can't really see him grab anything off of the body. Like his hands are free as the camera turns away. So let's rewatch this here in full. See, it's going slow. Here, let me actually put the playback speed down to 0.25. So you see this guy come in. This is sleeve swipe guy, tears him down. In comes Brian Harpool with his satchel. You got Frank Turek down on the ground, not knowing what the fuck to do. This guy hops over the table. You got Mountain Dew guy come around. He's getting down. He's going to pull out a gun, get in defense mode. And Mountain Dew guy goes back, and you see the short sleeve plaid guy who's lifted his sleeve. He comes walking over, right? And there's some sort of exchange that's happening here, but you can see the short sleeve brown shirt's hand right here. You see this guy, everybody's hands are visible here. And I'm looking for an exchange, and I don't see anything happen. But I will be fair, and his right hand gets cut off by the angle, right? So we don't really understand what's happening. So this guy's crouching down. He pulls out his weapon. Everybody else starts freaking out, and they start running away, all right? So it's just like, that is very high-def footage, and you know that there's more. You know that there is so much more. I mean, for God's sakes, there were high-def cameras right there, right in front of Charlie's face. And people say that was actually where the gun was held. You know, I'm just saying, like, that's a theory out there that there was a gun inside the camera. And I'm like, maybe. I don't know about that, though. Because then, like, I don't know. It is weird. And we'll cover that. We'll come back to that. There was another piece of footage. This one shows the table underneath where... So this is right after the shooting here. I mean, people's shoes all over the place, garbage. I mean, my God, this place is a mess. You know what I mean? I get, like, there's just a shooting, but, like, damn. You're going to leave your shoes and stuff? So look at this. I know it's kind of sideways. It's kind of hard to see. But this is where Charlie Kirk fell and was bleeding out. And people are saying, where is the blood? All right, where's the blood? I'm going to mute that. Look, they're walking right where his body was. Look at this guy in the short, the reddish plaid shirt and the black hat, right? Watch him. He's looking right down at the whole thing. Like, yeah, it looks like Charlie was right there. Yep. Yeah, sure does look like he was right there. Anyway, I'm just going to eventually take a step over this. Right? So these guys are just chilling here. No, like, yes, this is very, very blurry, everybody. This is not like super HD, but I would expect to see like a large red stain or something, right? And there's a bunch of mess. There's a bunch of like gear and stuff down here. Like the chair is probably still... No, the chair has been tilted. So this is after the guy took the camera down, because there's Charlie's chair. Right? So this guy's looking around like, is there anything else I need to pick up to clean up the evidence here? Anything else to look at? Right? And then eventually, look, he just moseys on over to his friend. Here, I'm going to step right where Charlie died. Right in the crime scene. Just stepping right there. And how odd is it that there's like crime scene tape or something, like do not cross tape, right above where all this happened? Isn't that strange? Like, just like they're throwing it in your face. Like, yeah, this was a crime scene where Charlie got murdered, but no need to close it off or investigate or anything like that, right? So it's like, what are they doing? What are they looking for? Are they ever going to disclose what they found? Are we ever going to see that footage that Candace Owens supposedly saw over a FaceTime call, that high-def camera right behind Charlie Kirk, where she said there's no blood, right? She said it was extremely PG. There's just no blood. So why are they withholding this footage? And it is odd that, you know, if the footage is still with Turning Point or still with the camera guy, the guy who took down the camera and the SD card, they could end all of this conspiracy noise by just releasing that footage. But something tells me that it would make the conspiracy noise even greater. And that's why they're not releasing the footage. Because if there ain't no blood, that's a problem. Because we saw a lot of blood, right? We saw a lot of blood. So those were just some angles and various things that have been coming out. The next big one is Mikey McCoy. The magical Mikey McCoy. Or the amazing, wow. Magic Mike. I think I just went there. Yeah. So this was, as Erica Kirk stated, the amazing Mikey McCoy. And he apparently put out this long-ass video the day that he was with Charlie Kirk, right? And it was like this, I don't know, like he spent all day with Charlie Kirk. And towards the end where Charlie Kirk got shot, he plugs his ears, which is very strange. And we'll talk about that. But like he plugs his ears, kind of like, oh my God, what was that? And then like immediately turns and just starts walking and gets on his phone. Like he had speed dial. Like he just was like, oh, it's time for the phone call. What? And he just starts walking and people are picking up Charlie Kirk's body, putting him in that SUV. And you can see him off in the distance. He's just walking on his phone. Like he knew what was happening, but he didn't even see. This whole thing is so strange. So like, check this out. This is some guy's video. This is, hold on a second here. What's, ooh, yeah, I'm going to mute all of this. This is Sam Parker, based Sam Parker at Sam Parker Senate. I don't know if this guy's running for Senate or not, but all this footage is of Mikey McCoy. He can be seen in the rear view mirror wearing a baseball cap. So we got all this footage where he's kind of, that's him in the backpack with the white hat and the long sleeve white shirt. He's walking behind the crew, and you can see there's that the guy we were just talking about, right? Oops. Just went to the next video. My bad. So all the crew that was surrounding Charlie Kirk is now entering the overhang here. So from the overhang, you can kind of see Mikey McCoy come in. He's filming with his iPhone, right? But the big thing, let's go to the meat and potatoes here. So Mikey McCoy is just tied next to Charlie Kirk's hip all day long. Here is Mikey standing there. You can see him still with his backpack. He has his phone out. And this is when Charlie Kirk is speaking. And we'll just fast forward a little bit here. You can clearly see he's there. There's Mikey just away on his phone. Texting, talking, whatever he's doing, right? And now he has the phone put away. Charlie Kirk picks up the microphone. This is in the final moments of his life. Charlie Kirk is still just kind of standing there. Right? Sorry about Charlie here. But you'll see, this is a blurred out footage here. You'll see Mikey over here. He just starts walking away. Right? Boom. He goes, oh, I'm out of here. And this is before they even dragged his body down. So now you have Mikey reappearing out here in the corner. He is on his cell phone. And the odd thing is he's just slowly strolling. Like, I'm just going to make a call. I'm just walking. Like he knows that it's safe to just stand up and walk. Like there's no other shooter. Like he just knows for some reason. Everybody else is running and panicking, getting down. Like there's footage of numerous students in the same area. He's in the overhang area. And he's the only one just leisurely strolling away, talking on the phone. Everybody else crouching down. Look at him. He's just like, I'm out of here, guys. This is too much for me. And this is him as they are putting Charlie Kirk's body in the SUV. There's Mikey down there in the distance. And this is I should have said this in the beginning. This is the Chief of Staff of Turning Point USA. Chief of Staff. So Charlie Kirk's Chief of Staff. So he is very close to Charlie Kirk. Like there's pictures of this guy. They're always with Charlie Kirk. They're always hanging out together. Yeah, I probably didn't make that very clear. But this guy is very, very close to Charlie Kirk. And for him to just to like, peace out, bro, like whatever. And, you know, maybe there is something to this. Maybe he is making phone calls to Erica Kirk. That's one theory. Maybe he's making phone calls to his dad. That is another theory, right? Because these people came out and said, Mikey called me. Or at least sources came out and said that. And we got to kind of look at this holistically. So like Mikey was standing right next to Charlie Kirk. Okay. And he was standing on the side where the blood was spurting out. So it probably didn't take that long for him to see the blood and him to go, oh shit, I'm bouncing. I'm getting out of here. But if that were the case, wouldn't you do it a little quicker? Like, wouldn't you be fearful that there might be another shot coming your way or like in that general direction? Like you were standing right next to where a guy got shot, supposedly. And now you're just kind of like, I just got to walk away. What? You know, like, so I could see both ways, but like both ways don't make sense because he's just walking really slow. So let's see here. I got a closer, different viewpoint where you can actually see him plug his ears. It's very strange. All right. So we got this. Let's see if I can. Yeah. So right here, off to the left. Okay. So watch this video off to the left because this is Mikey. Charlie Kirk still hasn't gotten shot yet. So boom. He gets shot. Look, he brings his like, either he's bringing his hands up to his face and he's going like, oh my God, or he's bringing his hands up to his ears like, oh God, that was loud. You know? But look, it looks like he's either on the phone already or he's plugging his ears. Because see, it looks like it's so blurry. But it looks like he is plugging his ears to me. It doesn't look like he's going like, oh my God, like a like Hunter Kozak did. It looks like this guy is plugging his ears, which screams to me something loud happened right next to this guy's head. Right? And no one else around there is plugging their ears. No one in the audience is plugging their ears. Supposedly this shot came from 200 meters or 200 feet away, a different building. Kablamo. But this guy plugs his ears because it's so damn loud. Like, think about that. Was there something that happened right there on Charlie? You know, like that boom. And this guy was right next to him. He goes, oh, God, he's plugging his ears? Walking away, plugging his ears? Right? So watch the video here on the left again. This is less zoomed in. Okay, Charlie gets shot. Look, puts his, see? It looks like he's plugging his ears. And now at this point, it looks like he's looking right at Charlie. So I could definitely see him being like, holy shit, there's a lot of blood coming out his neck. I got to get out of here. Charlie was just shot. So here I could kind of see that. Right? Because that's when this security detail comes in and tackles him down. And we've all seen the video. Charlie was bleeding profusely before the security guy tackled him down. And so to me, this guy, see, like, even looks kind of like he's looking at Charlie right here, too. So watch it again. Boom. Ears come up. He looks at him briefly and then just walks away. Right? So people are just saying, like, who does that? Like, you don't even, like, get under the tent and be like, bro, what the hell? This is my close friend, my ally. Like, I work for this guy. You're not concerned. You're just like, I got to bounce. Sorry. And I got to walk away. As he bleeds out, I just got to walk away. Right? You're not worried about another shot. You're just, you know that nothing else is going to happen to you. And so that's part one. And then part two is like, who's he calling? Right? So I made a video on this. And I'm going to play that for you guys. Because it to me does not really make sense. And so here we go. Let's just load this up and I'll play this little promotion for you guys.
So it seems like somebody's...
Oh boy, I sound drunk. Here, I'm going to speed that up.
lying. New footage has been circulating showing Turning Point's Chief of Staff Mikey McCoy's odd reaction right after Charlie Kirk got shot. Right after Charlie Kirk got shot, Mikey McCoy can be seen plugging his ears and instantly turning around and walking away slowly. People are noticing that he's on a cell phone talking to somebody. And this is kind of odd because everybody else around there is running and ducking for cover. And so it begs the question, who was Mikey talking to on the cell phone? Mikey's father, Pastor Rob McCoy, claims that Mikey called him right after Charlie got shot. Take a listen.
I'm looking at my son who's 24 years old. Justin's the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and Mikey's the Chief of Staff. And I'm watching, the minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call every pastor and pray. I said, okay, son. He has wits about him. He was just directing. He had blood all over him. And
Pastor Rob McCoy also claims that Mikey is covered in blood. But that's odd because Mikey quickly turned and walked away without even looking underneath the tent to see if Charlie was okay. According to James Lee's investigation, Mikey McCoy called Erica Kirk, and this is per the New York Times. Check this out.
Who was he calling? Well, I did some digging, and according to the New York Times, it was one Erica Kirk. Quote, Miss Kirk was sitting in her mother's hospital room at 11:23 a.m. local time in Phoenix when she saw the number of her husband's longtime assistant, Michael McCoy, appear on her phone. In retrospect, she said she knew the words, he's been shot, before Mr. McCoy screamed them. According to official records, Charlie Kirk was shot at 12:23 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 11:23 in Phoenix. So if the New York Times is being 100% accurate, the only person that Mikey could have been on the phone with is Erica.
So who was Mikey McCoy really talking to? And why did he just walk away so calmly right after his friend got shot?
Right. So he clearly was not covered in blood. He did not even dive in to help his friend. I mean, no one was covered in blood other than Charlie a little bit. You could see those pictures when he's getting dragged to the SUV. But like, why would his dad say that? He's sitting there directing from where? Across the parking lot? Like, what? And so like, I don't believe the dad, the pastor. And then like the New York Times, who trusts them? Like they said that Erica Kirk was called immediately at 11:23, like right after Charlie got shot. And that, the timeline adds up there. But like, they said that Erica knew like he was shot like right before Mikey McCoy said anything. Like, really? When Mikey McCoy calls you, that's what you think? Like instantaneously, like, oh God, Charlie got shot. What? Why? Why is that what you first initially think when Mikey McCoy calls you? Anyway, that it's just a weird time. But like the pastor, Rob McCoy, he's the one who was like saying, we got to stop spurting all these conspiracy theories too. Right?
Anti-Semites.
So, and then like, yeah, there's a lot of like Israel stuff in here, but this is the pastor, his speech that this clip was going viral.
With this conspiracy, get over yourself. Dan is a believer. I love that man. Why didn't he check the roof? I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. No one knows why they didn't check the roofs. Like, well, that's your response? Why didn't you check the roof?
Why didn't he check the roof? I don't know.
Leave him alone.
I do know that they do. I know they have a limited detail. President Trump was shot.
They had drones, right? Like I read stories about the TPUSA team had drones. They couldn't fly a drone and do their own security detail.
Kennedy was shot. RFK was shot. Where were they? There's some things, no matter how hard you try, and especially with Turning Point growing exponentially and trying to figure out the dimensions of what to do. And how are they supposed to get on a roof when the campus police have the keys to all that?
Work with the campus police to get on the roof. That's how you get on the roof, right? I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out, right? You have your security detail work with the local police or with the school police, and you just figure things out. It's not hard. And TPUSA has been doing many, many large events. They know what they're doing.
Just calm down. And I'm sorry, what's the latest one for all you anti-Semites? The Israelis put a hit on him? Oh, please.
He stopped himself. There. Ooh.
Just take your hate elsewhere. There's no credence in any of that. You had a man raised in a God-fearing home that got twisted and indoctrinated.
Talking about Tyler Robinson.
And everyone who is involved in lies with subtlety of deception without any fact, you're participating and you've got blood guilt.
Blood guilt.
God operates in truth, not your stupidity. And I'm calling it what it is. You're complicit.
Okay. So yeah, he's saying anybody who speculates on this, conspiracy or otherwise, you're complicit in blood guilt, right? You just trust the FBI, trust Kash Patel, trust that 33-hour manhunt. You know what I mean? Come on now. You gotta just dive in, trust it. He is the one who said that his son called him, and he said that his son was covered in blood. His son was directing. Mikey McCoy was the man on the scene. You know, like Jack from Lost after the plane crash. You know what I mean? Like, you over there, get over there. You bring me some tools. I got to work on this guy's leg. Like, no, Mikey McCoy was on the phone talking to who knows what. Now, what we could do is like maybe check the phone records. I doubt that that's ever going to happen. You know? And I guess he could be talking to numerous people. Like, why couldn't he have called his dad? Why couldn't he have called Erica at the same time? Like, he called Erica real quick, right after it happened. Hey, he's shot. And she already knows that, like, because telepathically, I don't know, some way, she already knows that it's Mikey. He's going to say he's shot. And then maybe he just hung up, called his dad. said, Dad, yeah, he was shot in the neck. Like, I saw it because maybe I saw it for like 0.5 seconds and then I walked away, but I'm covered in blood. Really? Really, Mikey? I don't know. Right. And then here's Frank Turek. He was the guy dressed in white. He is talking to Megyn Kelly. And he was saying that Mikey was wheeling and dealing on the phone afterwards. So you kind of have some corroboration here. Doing everything that he could to help Charlie. Okay, yeah, and then this is saying, but I guess that's after he strolled off, even after Charlie's body hit the ground. So take a listen to Frank Turek.
And that's when the great Mikey McCoy showed up. Actually, he was there just before that happened. And 23 years old, he's calling the vice president. He's calling Erica. He's sending a plane to get Erica.
He called the vice president. Why? Why are you calling the vice president? He's sending a plane to get Erica?
He's talking. He's asking the doctor real hard questions.
What doctor? What's the name of the doctor? The one that supposedly said that he had a neck of steel, Charlie Kirk? Who's the doctor?
He's shaking a little bit, but he knows what he needs to do. He said, Charlie would want me to do this.
Really?
And he just took over. I couldn't be more proud of that man.
He couldn't be more proud of that man, right? So they're really setting up this Mikey McCoy to be the man on the scene, the man doing everything, coordinating, right? And it's like he knew exactly who to call right as the shot happened. Like literally, like boom, Charlie Kirk. No need to fear for my own life because I know there's no other shot coming. I'm just going to take a leisurely stroll, start calling people. I'm going to call Erica Kirk. I'm going to call my dad. And then I'm going to call the vice president. I'm also going to call my guy with the plane, have him show up to Erica. See how this doesn't all make sense? And like he called the doctor? Like, who is the doctor in all of this? Like, we've seen numerous, like we've looked it all up. Right? Like Baron Coleman, he's done all the research. Apparently there was pings on every single surgeon at that Galapagos regional medical, whatever the hell that hospital name was. So like there was pings from Israel. But even like that, the chief medical examiner, the one who is responsible for performing the autopsy, the one who is responsible for signing off on the death certificate of the cause of death. All of those people were pinged from Israel. Supposedly, that's according to Google Trends data. And now, when it comes to Google Trends data, I find that it's very inconsistent. And in that, like, from a data aspect, if it's not reproducible, it's very, very suspect. I'm not saying that it's incorrect, but I'm not saying that it's completely accurate either. And that's where people have to take things into, they have to be very cautious with it. Because if I do a Google search from my phone, I actually have one, here, we can talk about this. Because I did one of these a little bit ago. And do you all remember when, I'm sure you do, when the site of Charlie Kirk was dug up and paved over with pavers, like bricks, like Masons do, you know, like very strange. Well, the guy who did that came out, or the guy who signed the order to do that, he came out and gave a speech. I don't know if I have the video of him. Let me see here. But yeah, he came out and like was saying, hey, you know, my brother, I got a call. I don't usually work on Sundays, but I caught a call and I worked on Sunday and my brother, you know, fell and I called a couple other brothers. He kept on using the term brother. And he just said that he went in and dug up the ground and they started paving it away. And I'm like, that is a crime scene, dude. You're digging up dirt on this? Here, hold on. I think I found his name. So let me do a quick little search for the video. I'm sure I can find it. Let's see. Not enough, huh? Oh, here we go. All right. So this guy, so 4 days after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, they ripped up the landscaping and paved over it. We were originally told it was just a pre-scheduled project proceeding as planned. This person said repeatedly in Twitter Spaces, since then it's extremely unusual for a work line like this to be done on a Sunday in Utah County, where even gas stations are closed, gas pumps are turned off, and vending machines have been known to be deactivated. So Utah County, very conservative. It's like the heart of the LDS Mormon country, and they take the Sabbath very seriously. Scheduled maintenance work like this would logically and routinely have begun on a Monday or some other day of the week, not on Sunday. I said that this was an indication that it wasn't pre-planned, but done on the fly, and therefore must have probably been a cover-up operation. Now we find out that it indeed was done on a Sunday by a brother who admits he typically doesn't do this work on Sundays. And it wasn't pre-scheduled, but spur of the moment and directly due to the assassination. All right. So this is Daniel Merrill, owner of the Hardscape, Utah. And now before we play, this guy is not guilty of anything, so don't treat this man with any disrespect. He is just a guy doing work, right? But listen to what he says. I think because he put this video out, it's all over his Facebook. He put this video out publicly. So this is what he says.
What's up, guys?
Hold on, I'm going to turn this up.
Hey, I just want to share a quick post here. I got a call about a week and a half ago from a couple of maintenance guys from the state of Utah that had been asked to replace, to beautify an area where a brother had been gunned down. It was Sunday. I usually don't work on Sunday, but I needed to be useful. And so I showed up with a couple of my brother, with a couple of other brothers that we all have differing beliefs and differing viewpoints.
They all have varying beliefs and varying viewpoints.
And together we were useful.
Together.
It was heavy to work where a brother was gunned down, but we did it. And I've wanted to make a post. I haven't wanted to be controversial. America is founded on people with different beliefs working together. And that's exactly what we did that Sunday and that Monday. And I'm getting some hate online for it. I'm getting some fake reviews. And, the answer to hate is love. And the answer to falsehood is truth.
Okay. And I'm not going to lie. The first thing that I think of when I hear this is Freemasonry. Right? Like brothers, we come from all different faiths, all different backgrounds. If you look at, now I'm not accusing this man of being a Freemason at all. I don't know this guy. I don't think he is a Freemason. I'll just throw that out there. But it made me think of Freemasonry because like you have all these works and all these people coming from different backgrounds. So all of the Abrahamic religions, when you look at Freemasonry, if you go to the House Temple in Washington, D.C., in their temple room, you have a large square, like a kind of an altar. And on that altar, you have all of the Abrahamic books or the religious books, right? And so whether you're a Muslim, whether you are Jewish or Christian, it doesn't matter. And, there was a video that I did. There was a walkthrough video that I did a couple episodes back. You guys can go watch it. It was, I think, Dan Dix walked through the House Temple with a tour guide. And the tour guide was saying, Yeah, Freemasons, they don't care what religion you subscribe to. You can join any religion, but you have to just recognize that there is one God. Right? It's all the brothers coming together to get one thing done. And the dark and the light and the truth and all this stuff, right? So it just, what he said reminded me of that. So, long story short, there was a Google trend for Dan Merrill or Daniel Merrill in Israel between June 29th and July 5th, 2025. This is a screenshot from somebody's phone. I mean, this is Google Trends in the phone format. You can even see 5G and the battery power. So what I don't like about this is they did not include quotation marks. So this could have been looking up just Daniel. This could have been looking up just Merrill. And that's actually what happened. When I looked up Daniel Merrill without quotation marks, I got a bunch of like Merrill shoes or Merrill like something else, like a company. So I got on the desktop version of Google Trends and I did this. I said Daniel Merrill in quotation marks, and I got a ping in Israel over the last 12 months between June 1st and June 7th, 2025. Now, when I tried looking at this filtered in, or if I just said last 5 years or last whatever couple years, that pinpoint of data went away. And so I could not reproduce this. So I took a screenshot, I downloaded the data, but that's what I'm saying is like, even on the cell phone, when I went on to Google Trends and I did this exact same search in the quotation marks, I got nothing. I did Israel last 12 months. I got nothing. No pings, not enough data. So there is a difference between the mobile version and the desktop version of Google Trends. Just saying. It's not easy to reproduce the data, and everybody's been noticing this too. And that's why I think the Google Trends stuff is just kind of squashy, man. Like, it's not verifiable. I mean, yes, the trends, somebody searched something. Somebody searched Daniel Merrill. I don't know if it was from Israel. That's not trustworthy. To me, you can put in a VPN and you could say you're in Israel, but you'd be here in the United States. So the location never really mattered to me because I think it's all hogwash. I think it's easily faked. But apparently, Baron Coleman, the guy who's been growing in popularity because of the Google searches, he said that he did reach out to Google themselves, whoever, I don't know who that was, but he verified that the pings happened. So the searches did happen. Whatever you type in for that search term, and if it shows a result, that is true that it did happen. But what I found is that it's not really reproducible. So how do you actually know that it happened if you can't reproduce it? Right? So anyway, before I get into the Trump stuff really quick, this is the picture that I wanted to show you guys from behind Charlie Kirk. So we watched that video. Let me see if I can open this in a new tab. Yeah, this is nice and big here for you. So look at Charlie's shirt in the back. Oh, and look who that is. I didn't even realize that guy was up front and center. This is the guy who was crying on camera. I forget his name. Tyler Baird? Tyler Baird? Who said, well, I mean, there's been comparisons of Tyler Baird and Robbie something from a long time ago. But anyway, Charlie's shirt. See how this like gigantic air bubble is back there? He looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And this is, I believe, his necklace is about to fly off like right here. But I watched a guy who said that he's killed numerous people. This guy's from the military. He's like, I've killed so many people in my life. Like, I've killed people using this gun. I've shot people in this way, that way. And he said, I've never seen a bullet do this to a man's shirt. So could that guy be lying? Maybe. I don't know. And I mean, anything could happen. You know, this world is a crazy place. So maybe a bullet could have done this. But there is the wound. and here is a large air bubble at the exact same time. I'm assuming this is the exact same time. Right? And this guy has this red line showing you the trajectory of about where Charlie Kirk's neck is, where that hole is on this right side of the photo at this exact same moment. So he mapped up the two different videos at the exact same time. And what the hell's going on behind his shirt? There's no bullet coming out, is there? I don't think that's a bullet. So that is just very, very strange, man. Like, that is something that I cannot explain. And the guy that killed a bunch of people, he couldn't explain that either. So that was just very, very odd. Oh, yeah. So this Skylar Baird guy. Let me show you a little bit of this. This is a video that I found, and it's kind of interesting because the eyewitnesses from Charlie Kirk's assassination ended up VIP at his memorial. This is the Skylar Baird guy. And hold on, I have another video of Skylar Baird. Or Skylar? Am I calling him Skylar? I thought his name was Tyler. Yeah, okay, Skylar Baird. So it is this guy.
I was maybe 10 or 15 feet away when it happened.
Right. He's the guy who clenches, gets the tears going, right? People are saying that he's faking it. I don't even know, dude. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's faking it, maybe not. But he was VIP at Charlie Kirk's funeral, or the memorial thing, which is very strange. So check this out.
Right there with the glasses, right behind Charlie's head. The day that he was shot, he was front row.
Yeah, he was right there. See, this is the high def video that we just watched. That's Skylar Baird. I totally forgot that he was right there. Okay.
To witness it. And then in all of his media interviews, he never once says he's press or anyone of importance, yet somehow he is able to sit on the main floor at the Charlie Kirk Memorial. Who is this guy? How is this possible? And why are his interviews so odd? And wait until you see where he was at the beginning of the day and then how he has moved to the front row.
Yeah, this is pretty nuts. So he moves with the guy in the brown shirt. Charlie's detail. So check this out.
Very odd.
Watch the video for like 10.
So these are some videos that
happened.
I'm just going to fast forward
in the front of me.
Skylar is, the air is pointing it, and he's got those sunglasses kind of on top of his head, and then you're going to see Charlie's bodyguard right there. So you see how they're kind of up against the wall? This was taken before it all started. This was around noon. So he's kind of up in the crowd, and the bodyguard is up in the crowd.
So if you guys are just listening to this on audio, Charlie's bodyguard, supposedly, the guy who lifts his sleeve in the short brown sleeve plaid shirt, Skylar Baird is right next to him.
Which I find very odd because he's like behind the gate up into the crowd. And what you're going to see next is it'll be the live footage of someone recording it. And this is around, like I said, noon, I believe. There they are. The bodyguard's kind of looking back towards him. And that's Skylar right there with the glasses on his head. Now, do you see how far back they are kind of in the audience? Now you're actually going to see where Skylar and the bodyguard move to a completely different area once Charlie gets there and the questions get started. So there is the bodyguard directly in front of Charlie, and then Skylar is over to the side with those sunglasses on his head, directly off to the side corner of Charlie. So, and that's exactly how he described it in that interview where he was and how he was positioned, how he said he was front row, no one was in front of him, he had a bodyguard to the left of him and one in front of him. And so that is Skylar right there, front row and center. So this guy got front row seats. He's done all these interviews. And then I go and I find his Facebook, and find out that at the memorial service, he was sitting on the main floor and had a floor pass press conference and was sitting literally like maybe 10 or so rows from the front of the
Baird
stage.
says he's since found some clarity.
The story was that Charlie Kirk was murdered for his political views.
And as everyone contemplates what's next,
There's a cancer growing in our society
he hopes for reflection.
because there's a real cancer in our society, and it's
Okay.
But when we get to his Facebook page, something I really noticed was he's got 2.4K followings. So you think he'd have like a lot of stuff on his page that is interesting? Because I mean, I'm gonna follow someone if their page has got all this awesome content on it, and I want to go back and view it all. He literally from 2018 to 2025 has maybe 7 posts and like 10 pictures. This is his page, his Facebook page. I followed it so I could, following it so I could view everything as if I'm following him. No reels, no nothing. He's a digital creator for what? This is all he has. That's 2018, 8 posts. But
security.
Right. So this is, this is just him kind of walking through.
even with this guy. Farther guy just screams red flag to me.
My mind.
Okay. So, it's just weird that he got like front row seats to the Charlie Kirk memorial. He got like the floor, like press pass, all that stuff. It's just strange, right? And he was the guy who was working or walking, I should say, like really close to the security, got up right next to the gate, right where Charlie Kirk was, saw Charlie Kirk get shot. And then he was the one that everybody is interviewing, right? He's showing the emotion. So it's just, I don't know. I found that was pretty strange. There was one more video about this thing with Candace that this influencer, I guess, he brought up, and I thought it was pretty interesting. It's an interesting take. So this is Coach Colin or something. And the person who posted this is like, is Candace Owens working with Erica Kirk, right? But I don't know. So listen to what this guy says. We won't watch this whole thing, but check this out.
On this topic of Charlie Kirk, is Erica Kirk, I don't know if you guys know, but Erica followed Candace on Instagram. They weren't following each other before. Now they're following each other. Before they weren't. Now they are. Now, in my mind, what happened? They just followed each other and that's it? They didn't talk. They didn't say hello. Nothing. Just followed and that's it. I don't know. Especially over something like this. What do you think Candace is going to do? Stay silent? She's at the very least going to say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And if you want me to stop, I'll stop. Like, you know what I mean? Candace is, she's out there. She gets wild, but she's also very orderly towards the people that she respects. And she would say something like that. I can stop if you want. Oh, how you doing? Something. They talked. But then all of a sudden, and this is after Candy decided to put this message out.
I don't know why it's glitching, but apparently this was after the shooting. I guess that's what he was going to say. This got all torn up. So here we go.
No one, and I mean absolutely no one, outside of my husband and Erica Kirk has the power to shut me up right now.
She didn't have to say that, but she made sure to put it out there. Again, when you think about that, she says Erica can tell her to be quiet. She's putting that out there and kind of showing, hey, and this is when she first went on that long, crazy run, and she's coming back tomorrow or today, depending on when this comes out.
She never did.
And she's kind of putting it out there that Erica could tell me to be quiet. And guess what? I'm coming out with these episodes because she hasn't. And then you have to think about that. Why hasn't Erica ever said, be quiet?
Yeah. So it's like one of those things where he's saying that Erica Kirk secretly wants to say all these things that Candace is saying. I don't know if that's true. I mean, just the way that Erica Kirk is acting, like the fakeness and like the fake tears. And eventually we'll do a breakdown of her one video that she did because it's worth a watch. But like, why did Candace say that, there's like two people that could tell me to stop, right? And Erica Kirk was one of them. Erica Kirk could just reach out, and they started following each other right after this, right when Candace is doing all these spicy episodes about this whole thing. And maybe it's like to keep an eye on her, like keep my friends close, keep my enemies closer. So I'm going to start following her and see what she's really up to. I don't know. There's a lot of different angles there. So I thought that was interesting. Interesting enough to share with y'all. But so getting towards the end of the episode here, I do want to just touch on Donald Trump and something that Steve Bannon said. I do have to find it because I bookmark so much stuff throughout the week. So right here. So Steve Bannon, he was talking to, I think, the Telegraph or the Economist or something, one of these guys. And he's saying that Trump's going to get a third term in 2028. People just ought to get accommodated with that. But he also said something very strange that caught my attention. And he said, at the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is, but there's a plan, and President Trump will be president in 28, implying 2028, right? So listen to what he says about Donald Trump here.
Well, he's going to get a third term. So Trump 28, Trump is going to be president in 28, and people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is, but there's a plan, and President Trump will be the president in 28. We had longer odds in 16 and longer odds in 24 than we got in 28. And President Trump will be the president of the United States, and the country needs him to be president of the United States. We have to finish what we started. And the way we finish it through Trump. Trump is a vehicle. I know this will drive you guys crazy, but he's a vehicle of divine providence. He's an instrument. He's very imperfect. He's not churchy, not particularly religious, but he's an instrument of divine will. And you can tell this of how he's pulled this off.
He's an instrument of divine providence. He's an instrument of divine will. All right.
28.
You're not driving me crazy. I'm trying to understand the coherence of the things you've just told me in the last few minutes. On the one hand, you've said the Constitution is fit for purpose. Secondly, you've said that President Trump needs another term, even though the 22nd Amendment makes pretty clear that he cannot have another term.
Why does it make that clear?
Because he's on his second term already.
At some point in time, we will make sure we go through Zanny and define all those terms.
But even if...
See, like, at some point in time, there's a plan, like, Steve Bannon, he was like a chief strategist or something for Trump, for 7 months in 2016 when Trump got in. But what plan? What's he talking about? Like, is Steve Bannon secretly like the guy? Like, is he really working with Donald Trump? And just saying, like, not just Donald Trump, but like rewriting our Constitution to allow a man to be a president for a third time, or at least more than twice. And so I looked some stuff up on Bannon, Steve Bannon, and he is into the occult, man. Like, he's into this sacred American tradition, like the Manly P. Hall, like where you have like this secret destiny of America, like the Freemasons believe. And let's see here. Yes. So I did a little digging and I found an article. This was an article from Vanity Fair. And I'm just going to read what it says. So it's talking about Steve Bannon. When he was a naval officer in the 1970s, Bannon, a voracious autodidact, so he just learned things on his own, he embarked upon what he described as a systematic study of the world's religions, and he carried on for more than a decade. Taking upon the Roman Catholic history first instilled in him at his Catholic military high school, he moved on to the Christian mysticism and from there to Eastern metaphysics. In the Navy, he briefly practiced Zen Buddhism before wending his ways back to Catholicism. Bannon's readings eventually led him to the work of René Guénon, an early 20th century French occultist and metaphysician who was raised a Roman Catholic, practiced Freemasonry, and later became a Sufi Muslim, sorry if I said that wrong, who observed the Sharia. So Bannon started reading all this stuff, and then he started reading a lot from René Guénon, this occultist, right? Guénon developed a philosophy called traditionalism. It's this form of anti-modernism with precise connotations. Guénon was a primordial traditionalist who believed that certain ancient religions, including Hindu Vedanta, Sufism, and the medieval Catholicism, were repositories of common spiritual truths revealed to mankind in the earliest of ages of the world that were being wiped out with this rise of secular modernity in the West. So, like, I did some more research on that guy, and he believed that there was this one true integral religion. This is what this French occultist René Guénon believed. And he believed that one true integral religion was broken apart. And this happened to be broken apart into like various different religions, and certain religions contain the true pieces of that integral religion. And so this guy is like saying, yeah, we need to cherry pick from all these different religions and make this integral religion, whatever. So what Guénon hoped for, he wrote in 1924, was to restore the West an appropriate traditional civilization. Guénon, like Bannon, was drawn to a sweeping apocalyptic view of history that identified two events as the marking of the beginning of the spiritual decline of the West: the destruction of the Knights Templar in 1312 and the Peace of Westphalia in 1648. So just think about that. Guénon, like Steve Bannon, see that the spiritual decline in the world, or in the West, I should say, happened because of the Knights Templar being destroyed and the Peace of Westphalia. So remember the Knights Templar, I mean, the sect of like the Freemasons, supposedly, right? That spit on the cross, allegedly. They were doing a lot of blasphemous things, like sodomizing the newly joined members. And, you know, they were burned at the stake on Friday the 13th. That's why, I mean, Friday the 13th is this big kind of occulty thing. So they think that, like, the destruction of the Knights Templar was one of the reasons why we have this spiritual decline in the West. What? Also, like Bannon, Guénon was fascinated by the Hindu concept of cyclical time and believed that the West was passing through the fourth and final era known as the Kali Yuga, which is the 6,000 year of the Dark Age, when tradition is wholly forgotten. Guénon thought that the way to bring about the spiritual enlightenment was to convert a small group of elites who would go forth and spread his philosophy. Bannon emulated this model. So think about that. Like, the way to bring about this spiritual enlightenment is to convert a small group of elites, like Bannon and Trump, right? Like Bannon kind of influencing Trump. But the Kali Yuga, like, what comes after the Kali Yuga is the Golden Age. Like, it's a big circle. And so, like, we're going through the Dark Age because it's like this constant decline, but it's cyclical. So you have your Golden Age to, I think, the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, and now we're in like the Iron Age, which everything is like very materialistic. It's the shortest of the Yuga cycle. But once it's done, you go back into the Golden Age for a long time. And what has Trump been saying? Like, we're going back into the Golden Age, like this very occultic term. And where does he get this idea from? Where is he getting this from? He was saying Golden Age all over the place when he was running for president. And like when he became president, he's still saying Golden Age and all this stuff. So it got me looking into this thing with Charlie Kirk and what's happening at the White House. So let's see. Donald Trump, like, there's some destruction happening at the White House. Like, he created a new ballroom. And remember, right after Charlie Kirk got shot, there was that video where they interviewed Donald Trump. They're like, hey, how are you dealing with the loss of Charlie Kirk, sir? He goes, yes, it's very sad. As you can see, the new ballroom is currently underway. It's fully restored. We're having it open here. It just quickly just started talking about the ballroom and how magnificent the ballroom was. Well, today, you have this tweet from Eric Daugherty. I don't know who this guy is, but he says, update, conservatives are suggesting that President Trump named the new White House ballroom Charles J. Kirk Ballroom. Right? And what did Candace say? Like, when they kill you, they'll name a street after you. They'll give you a holiday. Maybe they'll name their ballroom after you. Right? And Donald Trump just says, I don't have any plans to call it after myself, but they haven't thought about it.
I don't have any plan to call it after myself. That was fake news. Probably going to call it the Presidential Ballroom or something like that. We haven't really thought about a name yet.
Presidential Ballroom, something like that, right? But that's not it. When you look at this, this is something, I mean, take it for what it is. This is coming from a Trippy account here, a Trippy account on X called 777 is 666. So he says Trump's ballroom is designed just like Solomon's temple. And the Antichrist always mimics God. I'm guessing at the end of this term, when this ballroom is completed, Donald Trump will stand in front of 999, the upside down 666, and people will declare himself God, and declare himself God. So he has this picture here, and Donald Trump is holding up the new ballroom, and this guy put a picture of Solomon's Temple, kind of like a meme here. And you look at the two, they look similar. I don't think it looks exactly the same at all. But this person is saying that they look the same. And so I thought that that's strange. I don't know if this is going to catch wind and like become a thing. But in Solomon's Temple was the Ark of the Covenant, right? In the temple, you had the Ark of the Covenant. And I don't know if you have all seen this, but there is a fake replica of the Ark of the Covenant within Mar-a-Lago. Let's see. I go. Yeah, right here. Look. So this is, what's his face? James O'Keefe. So there's like a fake Ark of the Covenant. And like this George magazine says, plot twist, it's not a replica. I think they're just kidding. But there's a replica of, it's a golden replica of the Ark of the Covenant in Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, right? So then we see Jacob's Ladder on X put this out. Get ready for chills. How many more of these do I need to share to prove God is moving? Exactly 9 hours, or exactly 9, I think he was saying hours, after my video about Trump building the Ark yesterday. Trump declares the ballroom will be made to house the Ark of the Covenant. Now, watch this and tell me if this is what you think Trump is saying.
Well, it could even be more than that. Probably, possibly, assuming we can do that. You know, we're building the Ark, and maybe we use it for the Ark. Looks like we might. You know, we're going to be building the Ark, and we've raised a lot of money for the ballroom, so maybe we'll put... The Ark is going to be incredible for Washington, D.C., so maybe we use it for the Ark.
So maybe we use it for the Ark. Now, is he talking about the Ark of the Covenant? Is he talking about this gold thing? Like they're building one? I don't know. I haven't heard about this. Unless there's some sort of other Ark. Right? Here's another thing. Just in, this is from March 26, 2025. Secret CIA files claim the Ark of the Covenant has been found, per the Daily Mail. Are they going to put the real one in the presidential ballroom that looks like Solomon's Temple? You know, and then you had... Oops. You had this movement, remember? The good old Q days. It's going to be biblical. Right? Saying it's going to be biblical, talking about all this stuff. I just think that this is all very strange. You have Bannon saying this guy has to remain in president, or he has to remain president for 2028. And like everybody's talking about 2030 being like this big freaking shift. I don't know. Something's coming, right? They're talking about blah, 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 blah. And then like we have this new ballroom and it looks like Solomon's Temple per this guy. Donald Trump is saying he's going to put the Ark in it. We don't know if that's the Ark of the Covenant. And then Steve Bannon is saying that Donald Trump is a tool of divine providence. Now, I don't know what more. I mean, you would need some more like proof, right? You need some more like, does Donald Trump really believe this stuff? I don't know if he does. And maybe the Vanity Fair thing was making all that stuff up on Steve Bannon, but I don't know. I think Steve Bannon is into all of this occulty thing. I think this new age movement type stuff. I think it's coming, dude. I think it's taking hold of Donald Trump, whether he knows it or not. So you guys tell me. I don't know. I think a lot of that stuff is a stretch, I will say. But there's some times where I'm just like, dude, the people around Trump think that he is big, like bigger than what anybody thinks that he is, like spiritually big. And I just don't know, like, if Donald Trump thinks that either at all. I don't know. But to me, it kind of freaks me out that people think that about him. And so we'll see. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Also, if you guys have any footage or anything that you want me to cover on the Charlie Kirk angle, there's new stuff coming out all the time. Send me videos at Instagram, Strange Sauna Show on Instagram, or join the Telegram. Even better, share the stuff on Telegram. That stuff won't ever get deleted. That's why I share it on there, right? So you guys can follow. Link is down in the description, my link tree. You guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you like it. If you don't hit it. All right. Till next time, stay steamy.